Okay, so I'm sitting here watching more people tear down FSU and dissect the program and what needs to happen with the coaching staff. And not saying that I don't disagree, but can we just talk about the elephant in the room? I was not a fan of the Mike Norvell hire 5 years ago or however long ago it was. They didn't give Willie Taggart this long to screw up the program. I mean, he was out at the first sign of trouble. This is more than a sign of trouble. This is his third losing season. And I'm not going to get into the racism that I believe is behind all of it because we have a very redneck fan base here in Florida and elsewhere. Tallahassee's in a very redneck city, Tallahassee. They ran Willie Taggart out of town so fast, his head was spinning. Now I think he's coaching in the NFL, so he wasn't all that terrible. But Mike Norvell was the great white hope that they wanted to bring in instead of the alum that I wanted to coach our team, Deion Sanders. Now look what he's doing at Colorado. In his first year last year, he quadrupled their win total from 1 win the season before to 4 wins last year. Guess how many they have in 4 weeks this year? Or 5, I forget. They have 4 wins. So they've already matched last year's total at the beginning of the season. So basically he could win 1 or 2 more games, get bowl eligible, and then, that's progress, right? He was already turning around the program at HBCU, right? Where he took his son, where he took our first-round draft pick, our number 1 recruit, Travis Hunter. Remember when he stole him? Oh, and Cormani McClain? Well, he's been kind of a bust, but you get my point. He's recruiting better than Mike Norvell. He's being more successful in the immediate takeover of a program at Colorado. That was terrible. They were garbage. And now they're talking about bowl contention. We got snubbed last year. And when we got snubbed by the playoff committee, my very first thought is, what if we had Deion? What if Coach Prime was the head of FSU's football program? Do you think they would have snubbed Prime? Do you think they would have got away with it? He would have caused such a ruckus and played the race card, it wouldn't have even been funny. The fallout would have been tremendous. Was there any fallout last year? No, because nobody cares about Mike Norvell. NCAA College Football Playoff Committee, they don't give a flip about Mike Norvell. He carries no political clout, if you want to call it that. And I knew that the minute he was hired from Memphis. Memphis, big deal. He was successful at Memphis. Who the fuck is Memphis? We're Florida fucking State. And we hired that guy? I was never a fan. Last year, I got on the bandwagon. I'll admit, I did get on the Norvell bandwagon because I couldn't believe we went undefeated. And then we were snubbed. And I did kind of blame him because he's the head of the program. He's the face of Florida State football. And he's no Bobby Bowden. He's no Jimbo Fisher. Fuck. He's more of a Jeff Bowden. Let's be honest. He's Willie Taggart 2.0, some people are saying. I don't disagree, but he was the great white hope come to save our program from the likes of Willie Taggart. But what about Deion? What if Coach Prime really turns this Colorado program around? They get a bowl bid this year. Next year they're in talks of, playoffs. They already have 2 Heisman caliber players on their team. 2-way star Travis Hunter is a serious contender. I think Shedeur shot himself in the foot, but he's still got over 1,600 yards on the season already, 14 touchdowns and some crazy QBR and percentage completions. The kid's for real. Yeah, Deion's son, Shedeur Sanders, for real quarterback. He's no DJ Ukulele. I don't know what the fuck his name is. DJ should have been benched weeks ago when the students were calling for Brock Glenn, an unproven backup. We would have been better off with him. But did Norvell make that decision? No. Has he fired any of his coaches? No. And let me tell you, I love Odell Haggins. Odell Haggins is a tried and true Seminole through and through. He was a great defensive lineman, and up until now, I've never questioned his coaching, but, man, that D-line is shit. They couldn't tackle my grandma, and she's dead. They could not dig her up from the grave and tackle her. They're that bad. I want Odell gone. I want Mark Fuller gone. He's been the worst defensive coordinator since Charles Kelly, and he was terrible. But he looks like a genius compared to this defensive team, this defensive coaching front. Get rid of all of them. I don't care. The guy we brought up from Miami, I think he's our linebackers coach. Our linebackers have been a joke. They've been lost all year. They run into each other. They look like the Keystone Cops. They're terrible. They just gave up 200 yards to frickin' SMU in their first ACC game. I mean, it's bad. I'm on the Fire Norvell bandwagon, but I never liked him from the beginning. Did I jump on the bandwagon last year? Yeah, until the snub. I was rooting for him. I thought, hey, but let's face it, this year has exposed him as a fraud because he had NFL caliber talent on both sides of the ball last year. Look at all the players that went into the draft. We were looking like the Seminoles of old there for a minute, but it was the talent. It wasn't talent he recruited. Some of it he picked up from the portal. He likes the portal a lot. He hasn't recruited a great Florida high school athlete and developed that talent in his 5 years here. And he's got a losing record for 3 of the years. Right now, he's barely over 60%. That's going to drop after the season is a total bust. How long do we put up with this bullshit? We didn't give Willie Taggart this kind of time, and he was a decent coach. I know most of my friends disagree. He was an okay coach. His kid was a hell of a quarterback, and he was ready to come here. Oregon wanted him. He ended up following his dad to FIU. So we could add Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and Cormani McClain and Dion at the helm, but nope. We couldn't have another black quarterback, not in Tallahassee. No sirree, Bob. Let them boys run that ball down the field, but don't give them any say. And oh my God, now we're giving them money. We're paying them for their talents. Oh Lord, we want the old slaveholder system back. We want the old plantation system back in college football. Look, it's gone to crap with the portal and the NIL deals. No, the kids are just finally getting paid what they should have been getting paid all along. But I ain't going to go into all that racist crap that you hear all the time from all the white Southern people that run college football. But I digress. That's the situation at FSU. Norvell was not our great white hope. He's not the future of this program. They should cut their losses. I'll chip in on the $65 million. I'll chip in on it. How many fans we need to chip in on that to buy him out? Let's get it done. Go Noles.